Area 51 became America's UFO capital. Witnesses saw real objects. Declassified records connect many reports to U-2 tests, not alien craft. Pilots over Nevada were not inventing lights. They were seeing technology built to stay hidden, while officials could not reveal the true answer. What was flying over Groom Lake? Why did it look impossible, and what remains unexplained? The first concrete clue sits in a CIA history released with fewer redactions in 2013. It describes a new aircraft operating above 60,000 feet when normal commercial traffic flew far lower. The object was extraordinary. Its documented origin was Lockheed, not another world. On April 12, 1955, CIA Officer Richard Bissell, Air Force Colonel Osmond R.I.T. Land, Lockheed designer Kelly Johnson, and test pilot Tony LaVere flew over Nevada looking for a place to test the U-2 safely and secretly. Near the Nevada Proving Ground, they found an abandoned strip beside the dry bed of Groom Lake. The isolation was the point. The lakebed gave pilots space, the surrounding government range reduced casual access, and the nearest population centers were far away. Kelly Johnson tried to make the assignment sound less bleak by calling the place Paradise Ranch. Other names included the Ranch, Watertown Strip, and Area 51. By July, the base was ready. The first U-2 arrived with its long wings and tail removed, wrapped under tarpaulins inside a transport aircraft. Lockheed mechanics spent 6 days assembling it at Groom Lake. The secrecy was not folklore added later. It was built into the delivery of the first machine. On August 1, Tony LaVere accelerated the U-2 during a taxi test. At about 70 knots, the aircraft lifted off without him intending to fly. The unmarked lakebed made his height difficult to judge. He bounced once, landed again, and eventually stopped with damaged brakes and tires. The first planned flight followed on August 4. An official demonstration came on August 8. The aircraft worked because it was almost the opposite of a conventional combat plane. Extremely light, with wings built to climb and glide at altitudes other aircraft could not reach. That performance created the visual puzzle. The CIA history says many commercial airliners of the period flew between 10 and 20,000 feet, while common military aircraft stayed below 40,000. The U-2 operated above 60,000 feet. To a pilot below, it occupied a part of the sky where no familiar aircraft was expected to be. Altitude changed the light as well as the scale. In early evening, an airliner and the ground beneath it could already be in darkness. A U-2 tens of thousands of feet higher could still catch sunlight beyond the lower observer's horizon. The result could be a bright, silent-looking object with no obvious wings and no familiar motion. That observation was real. The category was uncertain. Unidentified described what the witness knew at that moment. It did not identify where the object came from. Reports reached air traffic controllers and the Air Force unit that investigated unusual sightings. Project Blue Book investigators then contacted the CIA project staff and compared reported times and locations with secret U-2 flight logs. According to the declassified CIA history, those checks let investigators eliminate the majority of the reports they examined. It also states that U-2 and later OXCART flights accounted for more than half of UFO reports during the late 1950s and most of the 1960s. That is the CIA history's documented claim, not proof that every sighting had the same cause. Here is the mechanism that made the legend durable. Investigators could identify a classified aircraft internally, but they could not tell the witness what had actually flown overhead. The public record preserved the mystery, while the secret record preserved the answer. The U-2 was not the last extraordinary aircraft tested at Groom Lake. The A-12 OXCART, a faster and more radical reconnaissance design, first flew there on April 25, 1962. Its black profile and extreme performance pushed the same problem further. Observers could see an object that did not fit the aircraft they knew. This does not mean the base's entire history is public. Declassification opened one part of the archive. including explicit Area 51 references and a map. It did not reveal every later program or turn every rumor into evidence. The documented project was more serious than a convenient cover story. Engineers were testing aircraft at the edge of what pilots and materials could survive. Even the logistics were dangerous. On November 17, 1955, a transport flight bound for Area 51 crashed, killing all 14 people aboard. That loss belongs to the real history of the site. Intelligence competition, technical risk, classified work, and people whose families could not be told the complete public story. Replacing that record with a simple alien claim does not make the mystery deeper. It hides the human cost that the documents can actually prove. The declassified evidence supports a careful conclusion. Secret U-2 and A-12 testing explains a large and important class of UFO reports. The altitude, twilight illumination, and classified log checks show how ordinary categories failed in the face of extraordinary technology. The same evidence does not explain every light, every witness, or every later claim. It does not document alien vehicles. Some cases remain outside these records, and an unknown observation should remain unknown until better evidence appears. Area 51's most revealing secret is therefore not that people saw nothing. They saw something real, while the government protected the name of it. Secrecy kept the aircraft safe and allowed the wrong explanation to survive. The UFO legend grew in the distance between observation and disclosure. The archive does not erase the mystery. It shows which part belongs to history, which part remains unknown, and why that distinction still matters. If you prefer evidence over legend, the next case is already waiting in the archive.